and informative. Join us as we share insights from our travels, celebrate our history, and foster a deeper understanding of our collective identity. With Sankofa Experiences, every destination is a step closer to home. Let's explore together. Welcome to Travel Talks.
All right, welcome to Travel Talks, everybody.
Welcome to Travel Talks, where we embark on a journey.
Double up there. So what's going on in the company? There's always a lot going on here at Urban Intellectuals. So I like to let you know, kind of give you a brief update of what we got going on. So Unlock Your Family's Ultimate Legacy, Wealth, Heritage, and Unity. This is a new program that we put together to solve the issues inside of our community, the things that we want and need. But we are having a presentation tomorrow. So I want to invite you out. If you can click the link, you can come and join us on another Zoom conversation. But, oh, excuse me, that's tonight. Oh, man, it is Tuesday, February the 4th. So tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be having this discussion. So you can come on out and talk about going deeper into creating a family legacy that we all say we want and desire. I want to invite you out to Sunday dinner, right? So every Sunday, we go to virtual grandma's house, and instead of having soul food for the belly, we have soulful conversation for the community and the soul, where we discuss our issues and come together as a community. If you think AM Talk Radio, right? So we're creating a safe space for people to have discussions. I remember AM Talk Radio, where you could call in and have your voice heard. That's kind of what we do at Sunday dinner, right? So the ideal is, hey, we're going to grandma's house like we used to do as a community or as a family, and sit around and have a great meal and have some great conversation, but to discuss the issues facing the family and the community moving forward. So we're doing that every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It starts 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you click that link, you can join us. Just register to show up for Sunday dinner. Anybody been there? Give me Sunday in the comments if you've actually been to a Sunday dinner, right? And then I want to alert you to our Sankofa Speaks, right? So this is conversations that awaken and empower. I want to invite you to follow it on our YouTube page. So Ashley's going to drop that down in the comments as well. I am interviewing prominent people inside of the community that can shed light and insight on different things that we need to know as a family, as a community moving forward. All right, I got my Sundays in there. Yeah, a couple of people have been to Sunday dinner. Hopefully we bring you back. We are definitely growing that space. That's going to be intentional growth of that over the next few weeks. So I'm really excited about that. Let me just mute y'all for a second. You can come back on if you have questions later. Just let me jump through this presentation. But yeah, so drop that. Make sure you click the links, join our YouTube page, join us for Sunday dinner, and hopefully you join us tonight for our legacy conversation and moving forward. But today we are talking about leaving America in America, right? When you are traveling the African diaspora. But what does that mean, right? What exactly does it mean to leave America in America? And we're going to dive a little bit into that. But it's really just it's a reminder that we try to give our community that not everything runs on strict schedules when you're in Africa, right? It's often more fluid and relationship focused. For those of you that have been to the continent, you know that you're not really rushing. No one is really rushing, right, when it comes to Africa and their expectations of time. But we do our best to usher our trips along so that we stay on schedule, believe it or not, right? But negotiation is normal, right? This is the thing. It's a barter. A lot of bartering happens on these trips. So prices in the markets aren't fixed, and bartering is a cultural exchange, but it's really a cultural expectation, right? So when you don't barter, you actually are not participating in the culture. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But hospitality over hustle. This is again, another fundamental point that you will see all across the continent, the ideal of hospitality, and particularly taking care of the elders, is like a really, really big thing. So you'll appreciate that, I'm sure. But different doesn't mean wrong. I think that is one of the mindset issues that some Americans face when they're traveling the African continent, right? So we come into different countries, we come into different spaces with this cultural, how do I let me just be, let me just tell y'all the truth, right? If you ever in Africa and you hear somebody call you white, right? They'll say, well, brother or sister, you know, you're white, or you'll hear them refer to you as white, right? It's not has anything to do with your skin color. It has nothing to do with you not being African or anything like that. But you're coming with a Eurocentric mindset into their space, right? And you know that Western arrogance, let's say, can be displayed by people, melanated people, right? So if you're coming into a new culture with a mindset that you're primitive, y'all are behind, you're not doing things our way, so you're wrong, you might experience somebody calling you white, right? Because it's really a mindset that comes into another places, another people's home, and tell them that they're living wrong, right? So that's kind of like where that comes from. And that's why we want to try to get that out of our community early, right? That's why you'll hear us often talking about leave America in America, because we want you to leave those cultural demands that we tend to have over here, leave them here, right? So when you're coming into a new space, let's go enjoy the people and engage them, right? Where they at. But travel is about immersion, not control, right? So go with the flow of the journey. It's going to be different. It's going to be challenging at times for you to just allow certain things to happen. But hey, the African people don't need to be saved. They have been wonderful for a long, long time. And their culture is actually beautiful, right? Any culture that admonishes and uplifts the elders is not a primitive culture, right? This is a culture of love and appreciation. Yeah, phenomenal hospitality is what you'll see, right? Yeah, Diana. All throughout the continent, right? And it's something that's really beautiful if you allow yourself to leave America in America and come to enjoy the fruits of these African cultures, right? So the art of bartering, right? It's more than just negotiation, right? It's a friendly negotiation process between buyers and sellers, cultural tradition built on conversation and relationship building. It's not just about getting the lowest price, it's about finding a fair deal for both sides, right? But why it's expected and encouraged? Because prices in many markets, they aren't fixed, and vendors expect to go back and forth. It's a social experience. It's not just a transaction. Bartering shows respect and engagement for the culture. Now, it's fun, right? But bartering isn't something that we're used to. And I'm noticing on these trips that I think we need to prepare our travelers even more for the bartering process, right? Um, it's a negotiation, right? You're trying to get a fair deal. They're trying to get as much as they can, but there should be a friendly exchange. It shouldn't be nasty, but it is expected. There is a long tradition of bartering all over the continent, and it's just part of the cultural norm. So you coming in and just paying the top price for whatever they're asking or whatever is on the tag, it kind of messes it up for everybody else, not only in the group, but the travelers that come after you, right? Because now they're starting to expect prices to be sold at this high, right? But they're pricing it so that they can negotiate their way down to a level that makes sense. But it's just a long tradition. So please, please, please engage in the bartering process. And if you're uncomfortable with it, then grab another traveler that's on the trip or grab one of our guides to help you barter along in the process. But something tells me by the end of the trip, you'll be an old pro, right? But just try to be respectful. Sometimes I play games with it, right? Sometimes I have a number in my mind that, hey, if it's higher than this number, I'm just not going to buy it. Because here's the truth of the matter. This is what you need to understand. Whatever you see, it's likely you're going to walk 10 feet and see it again, right? Or you're going to walk to the next store. We're going to go to the next stop. You're going to see it again. So I don't want you to get like overly attached to anything that you see. Like, oh, I gotta have this right now. I want you to make sure that your money stretches far and long, but we don't want to take too much of advantage of the people, right? We definitely want them to have to earn their honest day's work. Sometimes I'll like barter all the way down to rock bottom prices and then give them more anyway, right? Just because I'm engaging in the bartering and the negotiation process. I'm weird like that. I like to have fun. when we're doing this, and you cannot be afraid to walk away. Because if you're not getting your price and you're not feeling comfortable and you start to walk away, you'll often find that they'll come and chase you down and agree to your price, right? So I'd just like to share that with our community oftentimes, because we go over there and we just get to spending, which is fine. Let's stimulate the economy as we can and assist in that way. But it's always a good fun experience when you are bartering and sharing in the marketplace, right? So don't be afraid to do that, and be sure to ask any questions. I remember my man, Mr. Nick. Uh, he caught me negotiating and bartering. So this was on the last time I was in Ghana. I was there in the October November trip. He caught me negotiating, and he was like, "Hey man, I need you to come and negotiate for me everywhere, right?" So every time the brother went to purchase something, he came and grabbed me to run his negotiations. So I actually enjoy it. If you come on the trips that I'm on, I don't have any problem negotiating for you or negotiating with you. But I would love for you to engage in the process, because it gives you an opportunity to commune with the people, to talk with them, to laugh, to joke, to have some fun. It's really just a beautiful exchange and part of the cultural process. All right. I see some stuff in the comments, y'all, but I'm blind, so I'll get there in just a moment. All right, but this is a different experience, right? Like I said, African.
What you got? What you got?
I'll explain what you're watching in a second.
Look, they selling off the side of the boat. Look, this is real deal. This is hustle right here. Look, they done latched on to the boat. We on the river now. This is insane. Check them out, though. They dead serious. They would toss up the clothes. Look at this. Hey, I love y'all hustle, man. They ain't buy you out yet? Alibaba.
So, believe it or not, we were cruising down the Nile on a cruise ship, right? So this is part of our Egypt experience. And some point along the riverboat, somebody's going to lasso the boat, and those are merchants selling stuff, cruising down the Nile. So they would literally take stuff. If they'll show it to you, like he was holding up the shirts or whatever, the scarves or whatever it is that they're selling, and they'll drop them in bags and they'll throw it up to the top of the cruise ship. You look at it. If you like some stuff, you would drop your money. You'll negotiate over the side, drop your money in the bag and throw it back down to them. Or if you don't like the garment, you put it back in the bag and throw it back down to them. And man, they were out there for hours. It was like really something like I've never experienced anything like that in my life. But Egypt has a different type of hustle to it. But that was something that I had to record it, because I come back and had the conversations with people, and you can't imagine somebody doing something like that. But when I tell you Africa is different, it is a different place. But it is beautiful. And as a business owner, I admire their hustle, right? I don't know if I got that one in me, but wow, it's amazing to see what people will do in order to support their families, right? So it's really interesting. But here's a pro tip, right? Approach bartering with a smile and some patience. It is really fun, right? I really want y'all to enjoy the experience. It might even help you here in the United States a bit. But once you've been to the continent and you do some bartering, I don't think you want to pay full price for anything anymore, but have fun with it. Oh my goodness. APT. Now, most of y'all are probably familiar with CPT. Oh, I see. Yes, that was in Egypt. Yeah. Man, it is something else to experience there in Egypt, right? So that's definitely a trip, if y'all are interested, that you should go on. But let me tell you something. CPT ain't got nothing on APT, right? Like particularly in West Africa, right? Like Northeast Africa is more Arab dominated. They have a sense of pace there, but it's still going to be a little bit slower than your expectations. But West Africa is completely different, right? It is totally on APT time, right? African people time. It's a relaxed, relationship centered approach. prioritizes connection over strict scheduling, less about the clock and more about people in the moment. And like I think that's the thing that many Americans doesn't sit well with many Americans, right? It's like everything is not hustle and bustle. They tell you 4 o'clock, it might start at 5, right? And a lot of us might lose our minds, but they really are emphasizing connection and people and hospitality over the clock. It really is like that. Running an organization and having time schedules can be challenging, but our team on the ground does a really good job with prepping them on, hey, we got to be at the next location and things like that. But when we're ordering food, we have to pack our patience, right? When we're moving about the different places, you have to really pack your patience, because if the clock is really a secondary thing in the continent of Africa, particularly in West Africa, right? So why is it different from Western time is money mindset? Again, in the West, efficiency and punctuality are key, but in many African cultures, time flows naturally, and people take the time needed to be fully present. And I think like that's really the key difference, right? They are really present in the moment, listening, thorough eye contact. Everybody's not on their phones 24/7, kind of giving you the half paying attention, half in my phone that we're used to seeing here in the continent. Yeah, Tori said APT is real, man. It is a different experience. The first time it can be a bit shocking, but it's really built upon love, and they're trying to make sure that things are right. It's just a different mindset from the West. So in many cultures, again, events, don't always have rigid start and stop times. They unfold when the moment feels right. This is just so true, but that is like the real difference between leaving America and America. Again, that mindset, right? Bringing that Western mindset into Africa, it clashes with the cultural values and what's important to them. So how to adopt APT without frustration, right? So it's mindset shift, but time is about connection, not efficiency, right? We're going there to connect with the community. We're going to learn about African culture, to enjoy the food, the music, the dancing, the rhythm, and the traditions, not necessarily follow the time and worry about the clock, right? Just lean into the connection, and let's humanize Africans, right? Because in the West, they tell us all of these negative images and things about not only Africans on the continent, but Africans in the diaspora, right? They tell us negative things about ourselves. So we're really going to humanize the community and the people and to reconnect. But build in flexibility into your schedule. This is if you're not traveling with us. We definitely have a flexible schedule, and we'll make it all happen for you. But enjoy the journey, not just the destination. It's the ride, it's the communication, it's the conversations that you have during this experience that really, really make it special. You may miss the moments of learning if you rush. Yeah, Diana, you get it because you've been there a few times, and you really can't rush your way through these things. You really got to have the experiences and the conversations. And this is a good story from all of this that I can bring to you and tell you emphatically that slowing down to talk to the people can lead to some amazing connections and opportunities. This young brother name is Hapson. This is my wife here in the foreground, and myself. We are in Sierra Leone. You're ready to have this experience. So this is like almost 2 years ago now. Wow. Time really flies. It's crazy. I think it was April 2023. We were there. We were doing our dual citizenship journey, but we met this brother, Hapson, on the trip. He was one of the local guides assisting us. Very respectful young man. I think he's 24, 25 years old in this particular photo. But we really fell in love with Hapson, right? He was just young, ambitious, reminded me of my children. Could be my son, right? Could literally be my son. He calls me Uncle Freddie, so he spares me Father Freddie. But very respectful, very helpful young man. But he was, like I said, one of our guys for the 2 weeks that we were there. But we had so many conversations, really getting to know him and connect with him. He's very intelligent, bright, hardworking, a serious dancer, by the way. He loves dancing. and a member of the Mende people, right? So we went, found out, discovered that we're Mende, and had that connection and all of that. But just really starting to build on the relationship. Well, what are you interested in? What are you really trying to do? Like starting to get to know the young man. And here's a bit of his story, actually, for you.
Hello, I'm Hapsin Joseph Habib. I'm a Sierra Leonean. I'm Mende by tribe, from Moyamba district, Moyamba town. So I grew up in Moyamba town. There I did my primary school and high school. And my parents, my dad is merely a plumber, and my mom is a market woman. She sells at the markets some local products. So the challenges were so much. As a growing up young man, I always wanted to have the advantage of formal education, but the means is not there. So I wanted to go to college. As you can see, most of my friends, my colleagues, we did high school together. Some have got their degrees, some have got their masters, but I'm still here. So how I came to Freetown, the city of Sierra Leone. I came to Freetown through by a friend back then at high school who happens to come to the city and live with his uncle. So he invited me to come over. So I came to the city and sharing a single room with that friend. So we have been together, and because I've been a very humble person, working for people, connecting myself with people, selling some products on the street, products like perfume, skincare products on the street. So the struggle is there. It's not easy actually. So I got recommended by a woman because of my hard work to Africa Accessory. So here we are. I'm working for Africa Accessory. I've met a couple of other people that are coming from America. So, but actually the desire is I want to be a degree holder. I want to be a university student. I feel that I've left behind by my colleagues, my mates, but I still believe that I can do it if only I have the support. I can do it, I can get there. The desire is to become a procurement officer because we have a government institution here that is called National Public Procurement Authority. They regulate the affairs of all procurement activities by the government. So the head of that office is the Chief Procurement Officer. My admiration always goes for that position. I believe I can get there and we can make some of the changes that we need in Sierra Leone as a whole. So I need the support. I really want to be a degree holder. I want to enter university and go not only to be a degree holder, but even to be a master's holder, double masters, even PhD.
Yeah.
I will appreciate. I believe I can do it. That's the desire.
We know you can, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we spent some time with good brother Hapson, like I said, and just really fell in love with him, right? And just was like, man, well, how much do it cost to go to school? Because school, listen, everything is different, right, on the continent, right? They don't have these social safety nets. Shoot, with that man in office right now, we might not have no more social safety nets, right? So education is only guaranteed through like elementary school, and then they have to pay forward in order to keep advancing. That's what he was talking about, sleeping on the floor in his uncle's house to try to get through high school. He got through high school. He watched all his friends matriculate through school, through college, because they had financial assistance, and he didn't. And it turns out that it cost $2,000 to go through school for 4 years. 2,000 American dollars, right? And it was like, man, it's hard to believe that somebody can't come up with $2,000 because we're thinking about American money. The average salary in Sierra Leone is $25 a month, right? So this is an astronomical amount of money for them. And of course, you got to pay. There's no loans there, right? You have to pay as you go. So it was a real daunting task for him. But because we made that connection, because like, frankly, we just fell in love with the brother, right? It was just like, man, we should be able to do something in order to help him. But again, because of that connection, we were able to make his dreams come true, right? Yeah, 2 years of salary, right? If somebody's going to break that down, right? But we were able to make his dreams come true. So we came together with the Urban Intellectuals community, told his story. We had a little funding page. We did like a Giving Black initiative is what we called it. And we ended up raising $4,000 for him and sent it to him, right? Because I know I know the brother. I know how the Africans work. They're going to send some money home to mama and daddy and the family back in Mayamba. That's what he was talking about, living in the village. So Freetown is the capital city, and it's the most developed city. Once you get outside of Freetown, there's like no electricity, no running water. It's like a different atmosphere. So he was going to give some money back. So we wanted to make sure he had a cushion. The brother bought him a motorcycle so he can get to and from the university and he could continue working. I can report that I just was texting with him yesterday, thanks to WhatsApp, right? He's doing well. He's getting through the program. He's really excited. He started a tourism business there in Sierra Leone. So he is getting his stuff together, but he wants to be the procurement minister, right? That is still his vision and his goal for his life. So it just feels good to be able to connect with someone and then have the network and the resources in order to assist them. And this doesn't have to be your stance, right? The connection that we make there, the tips that we drop on them is really, really important and can really, really help somebody. But the brother just touched us, right? So we had an opportunity to play a small role in his development, and it feels really good to be able to do that. But those are the types of opportunities that you can have if you slow down and actually appreciate the people and talk to them as individuals. We like to say we're humanizing the continent. We're humanizing the people, the cultures, the traditions that are happening. And that's what really happens when you leave America in America and you come and travel the African diaspora. So that's what we invite you to do with us, right? So if you're ready to make some of those connections, if you're ready to have these experiences. Got a quick question. Brother Christopher asked, why don't you set up a loaning system? Oh, very yeah. Listen, I don't know. We ain't ready for lending money just yet, but not over there in the continent. It's interesting, but there are organizations like Kiva that are making small micro loans, social, what do they call it? Social loans where people it's kind of like GoFundMe, but it's small micro loans for disenfranchised people in these areas, right? Where they give them the loan, might be $200, might be $500, people putting $5, $10 in to put the money in the pot so that they can go and have these opportunities. So I believe that organization is called Kiva, Kiva. They are doing it, which is really interesting. And apparently they are making some headway and changing some lives in the process. But if you're ready to make these connections with us and to join us on one of these experiences, we need you to do three things, right? Join us on an experience, our Sankofa Experiences. Relax, right? Just relax. I want you to sign up and connect with the communities and people involved. So we're going all over the continent. We're going to Ethiopia here next month, right? That'll be our first time in Ethiopia and Morocco for the first time as well. We travel to Egypt, Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa, Senegal, the Gambia, Ghana, Nigeria, and now we're expanding to Brazil. We're going to Brazil later this year as well. But it just takes $199 to lock in your spot. This is our travel calendar that you can choose if you're deciding to travel with us in 2025. I'll be on a few of these trips if you're interested in traveling with the ones that I'll be on. And we have some 2026 destinations open and available now while the spaces last. So we'll pack about 25, 30 people on each of these trips. So once they are gone, they are gone. But if you scan my QR code or go to the site, I think it's up there somewhere. I had saw it. But urbanintellectuals.com/travel calendar, or just click travel and then click travel calendar. You'll see that. I think soon we'll have the 2026 dates available. Do you have any questions for me? I see Michelle Obama sends young women to school. Yeah, it's definitely an opportunity when you get over there and connect to have an impact and to make a difference, right? And I see a lot of people say, well, why don't you do stuff here in the United States, right? Why, Freddie, why did you send a young man to Sierra Leone? Because it was $4,000. I don't know how to raise $200,000 to send somebody to school. I would love to do it, I would love to do it, but I don't know if we have the network just yet, right? And maybe I should, that's a self-limiting belief. I don't know, but $4,000 versus $200,000, I think we can make this happen. And I know it can have a dramatic impact on his life. Seriously, they are people I connect, with them. I love them just as much as I love the brothers and sisters here. Man, stuff costs too much here. Like it just does. $200,000 to go get an education is absolutely asinine. To have an undergraduate degree, of which I have a master's degree, and no one has ever asked me to see my degree. That hurts my feelings. I gotta tell you that. We spent all that money and time, and nobody even cares that you got the thing, right? All right, that's another discussion. I'm about to go left on all of this. Please let me know which trips you are. Yeah, okay. For the next 2 years. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm going to Ethiopia next month. I am going to Brazil in September. I think Nigeria is in September as well. And then I'll be on the New Year's Ghana trip for sure. So I've selected those 4 that I'll be on personally. And if I'm around on the continent and one of the trips roll through, I'll come through and show up for sure. But I'll definitely be on those 4 trips this year. So I'm excited about all of that. Are you not going to be in Senegal? The company is we're going to Senegal this year. If I'm in West Africa, I'll pop up and go over there. I plan on spending a couple of months on the continent in April and May. And then maybe I'll stay a little bit longer. I don't know. Just kind of want to see. But I am interested in being there. Brother Jay is all over the globe. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly which trips Brother Jay will be on. But Brother Man is usually laying the groundwork for the next destinations, right? And really getting us right. So if he's on the continent and he's around, he'll pop up. We missed you in Ghana for New Year's. Yeah, see you this year. Yeah, I'm excited. Daddy December, right? In Ghana, I hear is something pretty amazing. So I haven't been to the continent during December. They say during New Year's, if you're anywhere on the continent, you're gonna have a good time. So I'm really excited about getting there this year. We're gonna have a pretty big trip there. So if you're thinking about New Year's in Ghana, come on and get down with us. You can scan the QR code and it'll take you to our travel tour dates and you'll see everything there. And if you have any questions, you can always email us at support@Sankofa Experiences. That's support@SankofaExperiences.com. Sister Ashley will more than likely be the one to follow up and follow through with you. Yeah, I know he's doing. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, that day. Yeah. Brother Jay is always on the go, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a good time when you have an opportunity to meet him. And I always like to have a good time with our community and our people as well. So if you want to come and get down with me, come on with it. We have some deeper conversations about history and culture. I'm always game for it. And have some good food as well. All right. Yeah, good. Brother Christopher says he's an affiliate now. Excellent. I love it. All right. Are there any questions that you might want to unmute and ask me directly? YouTube, how y'all doing? You can drop your comments down over there as well. I'll come over and answer if we have any time. But you let me know. If not, I appreciate y'all spending this Tuesday with me to talk about leaving America in America. I want you to come to the continent with us for a number of reasons. One, I want you to have the experience, right? It's something that you've thought about, you dreamed about your entire life. I want you to have that experience. I want you to come with us and share with us as well in that experience. Two, I want you to taste the food and experience the culture, right? That's like a personal thing because I just absolutely love the community and the people that is built on the foods that you eat, the camaraderie that you're going to build from the group travel. You might come solo, right? We talked about solo travel last week. You might come solo, but you're going to leave with friends. My WhatsApp group is full of travelers that I've met on these trips and still communicate and keep in touch with. It's a beautiful thing. Three, I want you to get comfortable with the continent because y'all president crazy. No, I don't know what else to say. I want you to get comfortable with seeing other places and making connections in other places. No, but see, one, I am serious. Your president is crazy. Y'all president crazy. Right. But two, Um, Another reason, like I'm hell bent on making connections on the continent is one, I do want to move to the continent, right? I want to stay there permanently, but I'm going to always travel. So I'll always be back here, there, and everywhere, right? But I start thinking about the next generations. I start thinking about the future, right? Like, so why not start to make these connections and to get comfortable with this continent now so that your next generation can be more comfortable, so that they can start to come on trips, so that you can be the trendsetter in your family. Because when we started this, much of my family wasn't interested in going to the continent, right? Other than dad, right? Dad pro-African everything, right? But the fact of the matter is the future lies in Africa, right? I don't know if y'all paying attention to like the global politics and like what's happening or really what's happening on the continent. And then these countries are starting to reclaim control over their assets, right? Burkina Faso just booted out France. They just nationalized their oil. They're mining gold. They just started building their own car on the country there in West Africa. The development is happening all over. They are building the roads. They're getting the infrastructure together. Africa is starting to go through the Industrial Revolution. I rant about this all the time. But if you think about America 200 years ago or so, the Industrial Revolution made them a world power, right? And that's what's happening in Africa, right? Not 200 years, 150 years, or whatever. But America went through the Industrial Revolution. 35 million people were lifted out of poverty into the middle class, and it made them a world power. Well, in Africa, which is much larger, which actually has the resources of the world, they're estimating in the next 20 years, 350 million people are going to be lifted out of poverty. So, into the middle class. So if it did that for 35 million people, just imagine what is happening on the continent. And that is a conservative number, that 350 million people, by the way. So just imagine what is happening and this is just going to cause a shift in the global control of what is happening on the planet. I want to be involved in that. I want to be in the middle of that. I want my family, my children to be comfortable so that they can use their time, talent, resources to get involved with that early, right? Earlier the better. But somebody has to go and make that connection. Somebody got to go and connect. Somebody's got to go get comfortable. Somebody's got to go be able to break down all of these myths. I was just watching a video of a sister talking about the things that people say to her about Africa. And she was like, they'll see pictures and video and be like, they got cars? And it's like, if you've been, you know how asinine that is. But if you don't know, why would you know? Right? They got cars, they got luxury homes, right? Like what? Like all of these things are readily available. So you have to break that stuff down. And this is what's going on now, right? But look, I remember being in college in 1990, in the mid 90s, and was kind of baffled that people were flying in and out of Africa, right? But I'm 18 years old. I don't know anything anyway. But all I got is the negative perceptions of our history and culture that comes from the school system, the media, that says those are third world countries. It's dangerous over there. Why are you going over there? Turns out it's all lies, right? Some of the best airports you will see in the world are there. Some of the best food you will eat is over there. But there's luxury. It's everything, right? There's poverty. Everything from the bottom to the top is over there in the continent of Africa. And things are really, really starting to happen now, that the opportunities are running wild. So you can take your education, your resources, and your hustle and go over there and really, really flourish, right? There's Wi-Fi, right? Believe it or not, there's air conditioning. Ooh, this is kind of crazy stuff. But if no one is around you in your circle has actually been, how would you know, right? So that's why we try to show the pictures, we share the videos, and we have these conversations, because we need to break down the myths that are going on about the cow. It's so dangerous over there. What? Like, we live in Chicago. I don't know what y'all think, but I know what areas of Chicago to stay out of, right? Not that Chicago is blanketly dangerous, but there's some danger around, right? We're being literally attacked by the police. Right? Like if that was happening in Africa, like America would attack the country and say you shouldn't be doing that to your citizens. But We watch it happen every day on social media somewhere in this country, right? And then when you mix in, you got stone cold lunatics walking around inebriated on pills and drugs and beer and alcohol, and they're carrying weapons. They're carrying guns, right? Like, how safe of an environment is this? But this is what propaganda does. And this is what not traveling outside of the bubble does, right? We start to believe these things. So, right, the US is dangerous, very dangerous, right? All right, I'm a road warrior like Jay. Let's make it happen. I love that. Let's see what else I got in here. What reliable news sources can you recommend for individuals reading about some of the countries in Africa? That's good, Philip. Believe it, I like watching anything outside of the United States. I'm not watching the United States news, and I'm not watching really like, well, even BBC news out of the UK is better. Anything outside of the United States, just start getting a different perspective. There's some people on YouTube that I follow. I love PLO Lumumba out of where is brother at? Is he in South Africa? PLO Mumba. I'm probably not getting that right. But I love oh man, I didn't shoot an ass. Everything is going blank. Because I follow them on Instagram, but it's a news organization out of Africa. And they give a totally different perspective of basically all of the stuff that the right, not even American left wing media is right wing, but American media. So I'm just trying to get outside of that bubble and hold me to making a list, Ashley, and then maybe we can talk about it one day or mail it out. I'll give you a list of the news sources. I'm just going blank right now since you asked me on the spot, good brother. I think that was Philip. Great question, Philip. But hold me to get you a list for that. But I'm definitely not following the American media. They just lying. And like now you can't even trust AI, right? The AI has an intrinsic bias built into it. So you can't even ask that. When you're searching things on the internet, right? And you're on Google and all of that, the right-wing media is pushing all of their links up top. So if you really want better search results, you got to go to page 3, 4, 5, and 6. Like start to dig deeper than taking what's right on top. I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but you got me thinking about a lot of good stuff here. Gene said, I did African ancestry after learning about it on my first trip to Ghana. I'm scheduled to go to Nigeria in September. That's where the majority of my DNA says I'm from. Oh, I love it, Gene. And I'll see you there, right? So it'd be good to hang out with you as well. Kenya lawyer. He is a Kenya lawyer in Scotland. Yeah, Zoe. Yeah, thank you for that. PLO Lumumba. Yeah, that's my man there. If you follow him, he'll give you access to a lot of these channels that I'm talking about, right? So I'm kind of like in that bubble, but I'm just trying to learn from the Africans on the ground, in the countries, in the continents, and taking the information directly from them and parsing it with other sources. Because I'm not saying that anybody else don't have no agenda as well, right? But we just got to start getting outside of the American bubble. I really wish I could give you this. I'm tempted to try to get on Instagram. I know I ain't gonna find it in time, but I love the work that they do, and it's like real deep investigative journalism. It's not just some guy talking, right? It's an actual news station, and they're providing in-depth coverage and follow. It kind of reminds me of like Vice. You remember Vice TV or whatever that was? I haven't watched them in years. I don't know if they're still creating real in-depth pieces, but they're doing this on the African continent, and it's really, really good. Swahili Nation is also a good one. I appreciate that. So I'll check them out. Let me put that up here. Swahili Nation. All right, I'll check that out. Yeah, but it's good. It's good to get outside of the bubble and to start to see and learn these things for yourselves. Coming to the continent, I want to invite you with us. Again, you can scan my QR code or just come to SankofaExperiences.com. And if you have any questions after we get off of here, you can always shoot an email to support at SankofaExperiences.com, support@SankofaExperiences.com. If you mess up and shoot an email to support@urbanintellectuals.com, we'll get all of that. And just for context, Urban Intellectuals is our umbrella company that owns these arms of the business, right? So Sankofa Experiences is how we invite our community to our Black History travel experiences. So hopefully that all makes sense to you. Thank you, Sister Ashley, for dropping the travel calendar down there. So that'll give you the dates of all of our travel destinations. You can see some of the places that we go here above me. But yeah, so that's it for Travel Talks today. I appreciate y'all joining me. I'm getting better and keeping it under an hour. That's my goal, right? Trying to make sure that I don't take up too much of your time, but I give you some good information, things to chew on and think about. But we're looking forward to welcoming you to the continent. Hopefully you take an opportunity to grab a trip with us. Hopefully you come on a trip that I'm going to be on. I would love to meet you personally. I think that'll be excellent. I love to meet our community and grow with us. Lest I get scared to leave. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I never want to leave every time I go. So anytime I'm crossing the water, I'm definitely swinging through somewhere on the continent. So I'm really excited to get back. Looking forward to Ethiopia. I think that's going to be an amazing experience. And I'm in the Ethiopian food, so I want to get to the source and eat it myself. So, all right, good people, I appreciate y'all joining me today. Again, shoot us an email if you have any questions for us. Hopefully, I'll see you tonight at our legacy building formula conversation. That's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If not, Sunday dinner's coming around. If not, I'll see you on the continent and beyond, but I'm looking forward to connecting with you in the near future. So let me give you my outro video.
Greetings, I'm Freddie Taylor, CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals, and we are behind the Sankofa Experiences. This is where Black history travel made easy is not just our mantra, it's a promise. Our mission? To reconnect you with your roots, your culture, and the history of the African diaspora. Now spanning across 10 African nations and the vibrant cultures of Colombia and Brazil, the Sankofa Experiences is expanding. We've crafted curated group travel experiences that do more than just visit. They immerse, they educate, they transform. From the historic forts of Ghana to the bustling markets of Nigeria, the serene beaches of the Gambia, to the rugged mountains of Morocco, and beyond, even South Africa and South America, each destination holds a special place and part of our story. Embarking on these Sankofa journeys means more than just exploring more landscapes. It means walking in the footsteps of the ancestors, embracing the diversity of our heritage and seeing the world through a lens of understanding and appreciation. It's a group experience where every traveler is a thread in the fabric of the shared narrative, making the journey safe, engaging, and unforgettable. So are you ready to embark on this adventure? To explore, to learn, to celebrate the legacy that connects us all. Join us in the Sankofa Experiences, proudly powered by Urban Intellectuals. The only thing missing is you.
All right, good people. The only thing missing is you. So make sure you join us and let's correct that. All right. See you tonight, Karen. I appreciate it. All right. Peace and blessings to all of y'all until tonight, if you're going to see us or not. Till next time, love, peace, and power to the people. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm used to saying good evening, but good afternoon.